Alrighty, here we are.
Well, from buying to selling and everything in between, we are in the hot seat to give you a bit of a lady's perspective about presentation in the world of real estate.
Let's get started, shall we? Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Xanthi, for joining us today. As she mentioned, we're going to be going through the buying and selling and everything in between, where we're in the hot seat, and we'll show you a bit of a point of view of the lady side.
Yes, but before we get started, did you know, Sienna, this is actually my very first ever live on air with Novak News and Novak in general. So I'm very excited to dazzle you with my presence and also give you some of my brainwaves too.
Look at you, you're already firing it. What's going on?
Well, it will be a lot of fun, and there's a camera on you. And when they say lights, camera, action, let's light up this segment tonight.
We shall. So, shall we start off with property styling?
Yeah, so about the property, let's start at the actual property before we move on elsewhere. And I personally do think, as I'm sure many of you will know, you really do only get one chance to make a great first impression. So Sienna, how do you think that would relate to property and styling?
Well, in rental side of you, as a prospective tenant, you obviously do want to come into a property where it's in good nick, good condition, and it presents well. A lot of prospective tenants, when they walk into a property, the first thing they think of, sunlight. Where's the sunlight? Where is it coming through? And is there sun, really, when it's facing? But essentially, if the landlord can do anything about presenting that property really well, always adding, as we mentioned before, actually having a conversation, flowers, candles, anything really.
Yeah, it's really to do with those little finer attention to details. Does your property smell delicious? Does it look delicious? Does it present deliciously? Some of the smaller things you might be able to do really can make a huge impact on a prospective tenant and also a prospective buyer. So do the drapes match the flowers? Do you have a really beautiful garden outside? Does it need a fresh lick of paint? These small things that might not cost much money really do make an absolutely huge impression at the end of the day. Other things that we might look at also can include a little bit of depersonalizing the space. So when it comes to doing an open for inspection, as an example, you might want to remove some of the few photos that there are a lot of. Just kind of remove those just for the open home. We're not saying we don't want it to be looked in, but if you try and depersonalize it and make it look a little bit more neutral, buyers or prospective tenants can easily walk in and fit themselves into that space much easier than with all of those pictures around.
Definitely. Since a prospective tenant comes into the property, they don't want to see family photos. They want to make it feel like it's their home already. So making sure that it is as neutral as possible can really attract prospective buyers and prospective tenants.
And I do also think that if you're selling a home or even a tenant looking to move into a home, it's also easier to have furniture in there. So whereas moving into a vacant property, you can't really picture yourself in there as much as you can if it's nicely styled with a little bit of furniture. So if you do have a vacant property, it might just be worthwhile enlisting the help of a property stylist where you can actually rent a whole range of furniture for the duration for the duration of your property campaign. And that could be the difference between selling it at X to selling it at Y.
Definitely. That was a great comment, Xanthi.
Well,
we can move on to the ads online as well as virtual furniture. You mentioned you can rent out furniture. You can actually also put furniture in the property virtually online. Now, you know a little bit more about this than I am because Xanthi used to be in the media team.
Yes, I have come from the media team, slowly transitioning into more of a sales role. But exactly like Sienna had mentioned, when it comes to virtual furniture, or VF as we call it here in the real estate industry, that is 3D furniture placed into a property. It could save you a little bit of money where you don't actually have to enlist the help of a full stylist. and you can get your furniture made three-dimensionally using a computer software program. So some of the benefits of this are, yes, you get the furniture within your property, and you also don't have to pay as much as you might have to with a property stylist. But in saying that, look, it's not the real deal. Nothing can beat proper furniture, really. However, you just need to weigh up those pros and the cons where you want to lay your expenses and what return you're really hoping to get on that. So virtual furniture, yes, it can be absolutely genius. It does need to work, though. That's the thing. It needs to fit in with your surroundings. You need to have a theme in your property. And we also do have a very talented team of people that do the virtual furniture for us.
Exactly. And who does the virtual furniture in Novak? It's that Natalie. Natalie does it. Nikki does it. So moving on with rental properties, you were going to ask me a few questions, weren't you?
Yes. So some of my questions were, when it comes to a tenant looking to move into a rental property, what are some of the things that you've seen in your open homes that a landlord might be able to address in terms of presentation that are inexpensive, that tenants are really looking for, and that is quite a hot topic within your field?
Well, definitely walking into a property as an agent, we always look at the walls, the floorboards, and the ceilings, and also the lights. The lights can be a really big factor in making the property to rent out. If there's not enough lighting, there's not a lot of prospective tenants that are interested. So ensuring that the walls are painted, it could be a fresh coat of paint, which the landlord or could do it themselves. Or they could hire, which is a cheap option. But definitely a fresh coat of paint of walls. Definitely one of other suggestions could be a clean sink, a dry sink. That's always been a big factor into walking properties. If the sink is wet and there's, you can see there's wet drops even in the bathroom, it can be quite a turn off for a lot of prospective tenants. That's what I think.
That's exactly right, Sienna. And look, it's not too different when it comes to selling a property as well. Prospective buyers do want to be able to visualize themselves in that property. So that's where the presentation really does count. And yes, it could be laying new carpet, cleaning the floorboards, doing a fresh coat of paint. If you do have the funds to do a little bit of remodeling, then why not go for it? Aim for the stars. Aim high and just fire away, really.
Well, I think that comes down to, does presentation really matter?
And yes,
I do believe so, yes. Alrighty, guys. Well, that wraps up for tonight. Anything else you want to add, Xanthi?
Well, I think we might be able to even go into the presentation of real estate agents.
Ooh,
what do you think about that? A bit of a tangent.
Definitely.
Let's move outside of the property and to the actual real estate agents. And let's put it out to the people. What do you actually want to see with your real estate agents, whether it's someone selling a property, listing a property, leasing a property, managing your property? Does it have to be in today's market, in today's line of work? Does it have to be suit corporate attire? Or can we relax a little bit and ease up?
Trendy.
Yeah, does trendy, classy, casual, will that cut it these days?
Yeah.
And I think it's a matter of personal opinion, really.
Definitely.
It's kind of like a Monet painting.
And it could be also age group as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Age group, definitely.
What are your thoughts, Sienna, on the presentation of a real estate agent?
I definitely think you wearing corporate attire is a big factor in leasing out properties, because we are handling a lot of big assets, expensive assets. So if you were to walk in with some trackies and a shirt, it's not really going to attract anyone to be like, okay, we trust you. We trust you with our money and we trust you with our property. People are going to trust you with a corporate attire. And, that's just the way society works, I guess, these days.
I do 100% agree with you there. Look, if you feel good, you look professional. It might not necessarily be the full suit, tie, vest, pocket chief, pocket scarf, whatever they're called. It might not have to be to that extent. However, you do really need to look the part, dress sharp, dress smart, and also, how do you present yourself? How do you engage with people? Are you energetic? Are you welcoming? What is your body language saying as well? So presentation isn't just about listing your property or selling or leasing your property. It's the whole culmination of things from your property to the actual real estate agent. So there is a lot involved when it comes to presentation.
Definitely. Awesome.
How do we go?
I think we did quite well.
Well, thank
Good
you.
job,
Yeah, my
Xanthi.
very first ever Novak news.
I think she took the show, guys.
Well, I love a
I don't think I need to be here anymore.
Bye now. And I look forward to doing this again with you on another Monday night, or who knows, maybe even a morning minute.
Definitely. Hopefully we see her on Thursday morning. I'm trying to get her out of her bed, but we'll see.
We'll see about that.
Alrighty.
Good night, guys.
See you guys.